following is a presentation of the Fellowship Church at Anthem, a community of faith, love, and hope. For more information, please visit fellowshipanthem.com.
Hey, good morning. How you guys doing? I love that. Who said that? Of course, Sue. Way to go. That's awesome. You guys had a good week? Had a thankful week? Has gratitude changed your life this week? It certainly has mine. We are talking about developing the habit of gratitude, and I've been sending you an email almost every day about the practice of gratitude and how it's so much more than just an activity. And you know, we have that little phrase we use, the attitude of gratitude, and it's really more than an attitude. It is an attitude. Gratefulness and thankfulness is an attitude that we want to cultivate and develop, but it's a lot more than that. It's a practice. And you know, like anything, the more we practice, the better you get at it, right? So to become really, truly grateful people, we need to practice it. So I've been sending an email every day, and if you're not getting those, it can only mean one thing. Well, it can mean a lot of things, but it just means we don't have your email. And if you want to be on that list, be sure you put that down on the card today and drop it in the offering plate. And if you've already done that 17 times, then bring it to me and put it in my hand, and I will make every effort to make it so. Last week we were learning that to find gratitude in everything, and it's not always easy, is it? It's some moments are hard. I've been working since about Wednesday, I think, trying to find what I am thankful for about my fever blister. I have a fever blister about the size of Montana on my lip, and if you haven't noticed it, that's really kind of you. Thank you. But I had one of those moments this week, where I don't know if you get fever blisters or not, but when I get them, it's like, stand back, right? It's going to be nasty, it's going to be ugly, and it comes on so suddenly. And normally it comes, like after you fever blister. You have fever and then it blisters. And I have a fever, but one morning I'm looking at myself in the mirror and I'm like, oh my God. And it was there, just the first little the thing of it. And the next thing you know, it's like, I think I turned around, walked out, came back in, poof. Like, how does this happen? So I'm working on a new technology called laser. It's laser fever blister removal. So I'll have that up and running shortly. Last week I challenged you to find moments and snap them. Take a shot of a moment and then take a picture of that moment and then email me a picture of that moment or put it on Facebook or do something else with it. And we had a great start to the week of doing so. And the back half of the week, I think all of our smartphones and cameras broke. It's fine. I got a few images, so I want to share some of these with you today. These are just some images that people sent me over the course of the week. This is last Sunday afternoon, actually. This is our first annual, maybe not even annual, maybe it's our first monthly fellowship Desert Dirt Bash. We had a blast out there. It was so great. And I was borrowing Brian McFarland's four-wheeler thing, and I broke it. Busted it completely. So, but we had a great time. It was fun out there, just connecting with people, and we were out there at sunrise or sunset, and it was a really, really fun time last Sunday. Here's another picture somebody sent me this week. This is I don't know if you can see it or not, but this is from Jerome. And Ian sent me this picture this week. This is from Jerome looking across the valley, and you can see the mountains in the background, and storm is rolling in, and there's that mansion back down there, and mine tailings and all that kind of thing. So beautiful shot. Thanks, Ian, for that. Here's another shot from the week. Lake Pleasant, right? Yeah, Dwayne sent me this shot, and this is over in Scorpion Bay, I think, right? Beautiful picture. Here's another one. Anybody know where that is? It's just outside of Scottsdale. Somebody sent me this pic this week, and I'm like, where in the world is that? I gotta see that. And I got directions to it, but not giving them to you. Here's another shot. Look at that. That's Olivia, John and Jody's daughter. And I had sent out an email that day and, take a picture of something you're thankful for. And John sent me a picture of his daughter. It's beautiful. Next. This is from Lana Cracchiola. I'm sorry, Lana. Well, it was so great. It was more than just the crepe. She said, "I'm thankful for the discount crepe machine that I found somewhere on sale that produced this." And I'm like, I don't care how much it costs. I'll take that. That's awesome. Here's another one. Yeah. There we go. I don't know if you know this guy or not. This is Hogan McFarland, Brian and Janelle's new baby. And this is so great because he's been around for a little while now. And this picture was hanging in Starbucks, right? And Beth took this picture and emailed it to me, who I then emailed to Brian and Janelle and said, this is the way the circle of gratitude works, right? She's thankful for community and coffee and walking into her community coffee store and finding a picture of someone that goes to her church and the celebration of their new baby's life. And I just passed it along to them as mom and dad, and I said, look, somebody else is thankful for you and for your family and for this baby boy. Look at that. What a beautiful boy. Here's another picture. Isn't that awesome? Fun family time. So great. Here's another one. I was in Starbucks, and this dog came driving by the drive-thru. I'm like, dude, seriously, you've got to get your owner out of bed or something. That was a funny shot. Here's another one. That's my daughter, Abby, on the left, and her friend Tam. And they're a part of a group of special needs kids that dance. And we had a big fundraiser this week for their dance troupe. And it was just awesome to see these kids with Down syndrome and autism and other disabilities, really, as their troupe likes to say, special abilities. And she is an extraordinary dancer, but it just made my heart glad to see her evolution and growth through this whole dance troupe and to see these guys get together. It's so amazing when she goes to practice every week, and when she and Tam get together, it's hard to have a hug that lasts less than about 2.5 or 3 minutes. They just hug and hug and hug, and I'm like, the world needs more of this, right? Here's another one. This is my friend Scott Roth on the left there. Scott is a member of our church. He's a coach for an NBA team up in Canada and the Toronto Raptors. And he sent me this pic this week because he knows one of my all-time heroes is Anthony Bourdain. And Anthony Bourdain is the most irreverent television chef in the history of television chefing. And so this made my heart happy. Next one. Yep. Let it sink in. Yeah. Oh, aren't they cute? Oh my God. That's Ted. This is me and Peg. And we've been together since all the way back then. I was back in high school, I think. Wasn't it, honey? How old were we then? 17. Yeah. God, I'm good looking. Jeez. Wow. Is that it, Amanda? Is that it? All right, awesome. One of the things that was common to most of the pictures that I've been sent this week, not all of them, but most of them, please go away, Ted. Thank you. That's better. Is that inside of so many of our thankful moments, they're connected to people, right? I mean, even the moments that are about nature, a beautiful stream or a mountain sunset or a vista or whatever, it's still about people. There's a connection, there's an inherent connectedness to humanity. God wired us for that. We get to be the beautiful recipients of it and the providers of it. I have connection to all of you. You have connection to me, just by the very fact that we live on this planet together, even if we didn't know each other. And the more we become aware of our connectedness, the more we benefit from it, and the more we get to participate in it. And this is Thanksgiving week. You guys know that, right? Thanksgiving week. Thursday's the day. Get your turkey, your turducken, or your tofu, tofurkey, right. We shall not have tofurkey in our house, but at any rate, I have a tradition that I learned from a pastor a long, long time ago. When I was a young man as a pastor, I was in my mid-20s, and he was one of those old senior, mentor pastors. I learned a lot from him. And one of his traditions that then got handed on to me, picked up by me, was that on Thanksgiving Day, Thanksgiving morning, he would just call people that he was grateful for in his life, people that had meant something to him or to his family. And I started doing that too. And so every year at Thanksgiving, I pick up the phone and I just call a few people that are meaningful to me, that I'm grateful for. People that have done something in my life or connected to my life in a way that's made my life better. And the last few years, we've spent Thanksgiving up in the canyon, up in Oak Creek, north of Sedona. And there's no phone service up there. But you either drive to the top of the hill and you get like 2 bars, and you thank people on the other end. Or thankfully now we have internet, and I would just Skype a few people and let them know. And so today I was thinking about that and how that's a tradition of mine, and maybe being thankful for the other people in our life, and the people in our life is something that you want to begin to participate in. And I would challenge all of us this year just to do that. Just on Thanksgiving morning, wake up and find someone that you're thankful for in your life and reach out to them and tell them that you are grateful for them. There's a passage of Scripture, and Paul writes these words to us about gratitude. And I love the phrase of this passage. Amanda, can you put that passage up for us? I thank God for you. I thank God for you. Every time I think of you, I thank God for you whenever you come across my mind. And when I think of you, I always have joy as I pray for you all. What a great concept built into that simple little phrase. Paul's writing here to a group of Christians that lived in a distant city, a city where he had gone and helped start a church. And now he's writing this, ironically, from a prison cell. And, he's sitting there long days and long nights, I'm sure, lonely. And so he goes back into his memories. And he remembers, not, why am I here? I was wronged. I was just trying to preach the gospel of Jesus. But instead he goes back in his mind and he remembers the blessings of his life. And part of the biggest blessings of his life are the people that God allowed his life to cross paths with. Have you noticed that in your life? There's a little phrase that we sometimes use. People are in our life sometimes for a season. We have friends that come through And they may stay, they may journey with us for a little while, but then all of a sudden, they're gone. Sometimes there are people in our life for a reason. There's something specific they're adding to our life, or something specific we're adding to their lives, or there's a mutual benefit. And then for a few people in our lives, they're there for our entire lives. So people are there sometimes for a season, sometimes for a specific reason, and then sometimes a few people for our entire lives. Look, there's our church cat. That's Boris. Anyway. Promise you don't get this at other churches. And there's no extra charge for it. So, all right. I thank God for you whenever I think of you. And I always have joy as I pray for all of you. So here's my challenge for you this week as we come up to Thanksgiving. I want you to think of the people in your life that you're thankful for. And I'm going to give you some categories here. So if you have some note-taking capability, I want you to get it out right now. Pen, paper, tattoo ink, smartphone, whatever you have that you can jot some things down. Because I'm going to give you a little framework here of people in your life to be grateful for. And as I do, there's going to come some people to your mind. And I know what happens after church. Listen, I go home after church too. And I take a nap, or I check out, or, people ask me sometimes that like they miss church on Sunday, and I'll see them in the store on Monday, and they're like, hey, what'd you talk about yesterday? I'm like, well, what did I talk about yesterday? So if I'm the talker, and sometimes I can't remember what I say, I'm pretty sure there are times you walk away and go, what did he talk about again? So I'm going to give you some framework to remember some people, because when I say these things, when I talk about these people, there's going to come people to your mind as soon as we talk about them. But this is a framework, and then maybe you want to just connect with these people sometime this week. Maybe you want to send a text. Maybe you want to make a call. Maybe you want to make a visit. Maybe you want to have dinner. Maybe you want to invite them to your house for tofurkey. But here's the first person that I want you to think about, all right? First group of people in your life, maybe there's more than one, but in your life, I want you to think of the loving people in your life. People that have just shown you, demonstrated to you what love looks like. Right? Because love is always action. 1 Corinthians chapter 13 is this beautiful passage about love in the New Testament, and Paul talks about love, and he only uses actions. He only uses verbs. Love is, and it's love is kind, love is patient, love is long-suffering, love doesn't keep a record. It's all about the action behind love. If I say to you, hey, I love you, honey, I love you, but there's no action to demonstrate the love, then there's always a question mark about the value or the validity of the love. And there have been people in our lives that have demonstrated love to us so that we know what it looks like. We have felt it from them. We have seen it from them. We have touched it from them. The power of love. And so I want you to think about the loving people, and there may be someone in your life that you need to go and just communicate, hey, thank you for showing me love. Thank you for teaching me love. Thank you for demonstrating in my life what love looks like when it's lived out in a relationship. I think there's a picture here. This woman is a woman that I love. This is my wife, Peg. You seldom get to see her because she's always here. You just never get to see her because she always hides, like in the bamboo and stuff. I'm just kidding. Peg, she does her part supporting our family and supporting me, and she's just been a constant, there's the cat again, by the way, if you didn't get to see him earlier because you were on the other side. But my wife has been a part of my life, as you saw, from the time we were actually earlier than 17. I know this is going to sound sappy, but we started dating when we were in the 6th grade. 6th grade. And I said, hey, will you go out with me? And she's like, yes, I will. And we never stopped. We just kept going out. Couldn't go anywhere in 6th grade, but... And so this year we've been married 27 years. It'll be 28 years January 1st. And excited. Very thankful for that. And, like the 28th anniversary, how you mark it with certain, I think it's aluminum foil. I think it's the 28th. So, honey, get ready. You're going to love that, babe. All right, so here's the second group of people. We have loving people in our lives, and you need to tell people that you love them, and you need to thank them for being the source of love in your life, but also shaping people. There are people that have shaped your life. They've taught you something important. They have invested something significant in you. A mentor, a coach, a parent, a grandparent, someone who has shaped your life, a friend who's come alongside you in the journey, and there's been this exchange of life. They've given you something, and you gave them something. And it's a beautiful exchange of life. There are people, and we can't help that. If I meet you and we open our lives up enough to connect with one another, we're going to shape each other. You're going to reconfigure my heart, and I'm going to reconfigure yours. That's just the nature of a deeper level of relationship. And here's somebody that shaped my life. Many of you know him. Actually, that's not him, but you see, no, that's not him, but I think we're out of order. No. There he is. This is my friend Brad Tarrant, and Brad and I have known each other for a long, long time. I first started pastoring when I was 21. It's just never gone away. And a couple weeks ago, we got to be together up north and spend some time up on the rim, and we camped together and we talked together, and we shared a really unique moment of life. And Brad's shaped my life in a lot of really powerful ways, and he's been a great blessing to me. And we all have people like that have touched us, and when they touch us, we move. Something inside of us moves, and we never are quite the same. You have people like that in your life, so write down the name of somebody that shaped you, and show your gratitude to them this week in a meaningful way. Call them. Maybe they're not even here anymore. Maybe they're not even alive anymore. But you can still thank God for them. Here's the next group of people. It's giving people. And people that are just naturally generous. You know, they give their time freely. They give their money freely. And we sometimes get to be in the pathway of people like that are just givers. And I have had so many people in my life like that have just been natural givers. They have this like gift of giving, and some of them it's giving their time, some of them it's giving talent, some it's giving their money. But one particular group of people I want to point out. I for the last few years I've been able to go with some folks from our church that get to play Secret Santa out in the world. And it really is an amazing thing to witness this. I don't know if you're familiar with this story, but a gentleman many years ago was really down on his luck, and his life circumstance changed dramatically because somebody cared enough about him to be generous with him. And it shaped him, and he made a commitment, if I ever become wealthy, I'm going to be a generous, wealthy person. And he did. He became very successful. And then at Christmas time, he would just go around and he would hand out $100 bills to people that didn't know him, unsuspecting. And that tradition then began to grow, and after his passing, that tradition continued throughout the course of the country. And so we have a group of people here in Phoenix now, and the last few years I've been able just to be with them when they go out and play Secret Santa. And they're incognito. They wear these little hats, but we can't see their faces, because if we do, then Santa won't come to us. And but it's just the most amazing, remarkable thing. This was last year when I was riding with the Secret Santa sleigh, and we stopped at this school that serves inner city students, children, and they brought all the staff out, all the teachers and all the workers and the staff and the bus drivers. And these bus drivers get up, like some of them like at 4 a.m. and they completely traverse the city, like all the way from the West Valley out all the way to the East Valley to New Mexico, and then north and south it's an amazing group of people. And we walked in there, and we did our little speech about Secret Santa and just handed them all $100. And then we had to get towels out because they were all crying. I mean, it's just this beautiful, amazing moment of generosity. And these men and women this is their passion, is giving away money that benefits people in such a way that's anonymous, and it's just a super blessing. So when you think right now, who's someone in your life that you know is a giving person, that's a generous person? Write their name down and then respond to them. Let them know how thankful you are for them. All right, here's the next category of people. These people we see around Fellowship Church a lot. It's the serving people. These are the people that serve. They have gifts of talent, they have gifts of skill, they have gifts of unique ability, gifts of relationship, and they give those things. They serve. And our lives are better because of that. We see these kinds of people everywhere, people that are serving everywhere. And I know in my life, sometimes in my rush of life, I don't stop to just say thank you to the people that serve me. Sometimes I go into a restaurant or coffee shop or whatever, and I get a really great cup of coffee or something, and I'm either so hurried that I don't stop to say thank you, or maybe I feel so entitled. I'm like, that's a really good cup of coffee, and since I'm such a loyal customer, by gosh, I deserve it. So, you know how thank you is sometimes hard to express because we feel like we're entitled to what we received? And it's great sometimes just to say thank you to the people that serve us. And we have so many people here at Fellowship that serve in such a wide variety of ways. But here's somebody I want you to know that serves our church. Actually, this is not our service picture. I kind of got these out of order. I'm sorry. But I want you to see Doug Clark. There you go. This is Doug. Many of you know him because you see him spinning wildly through the church on Sunday morning like a tornado. He is his own flurry of serving activity, and he gives his time and his heart and his passion to help people. Part of his sense of identity in this world is to serve. Part of what gives him joy is to serve, and he serves with great generosity. And a couple of months ago, we did this benefit concert here at Fellowship, and one of the news crews came out and interviewed Doug because the organization that he leads that serves nonprofits and helps nonprofits raise dollars and do it efficiently and do it in a high-impact way, they wanted to know Doug's story and his organization's story. And so when you see Doug running around, thank him. Just say thank you for what you do for our church and for this community. Now, if you don't know who Doug is, he is the man that sometimes you confuse with me. Right? We get this all the time. People come up to me and say, "Hey, Doug," and I'm like, "No." And they'll come up to him and they'll say, "Hey, Ted," and he's like, "No." So Doug's back there. Doug, poke my head up a little bit, would you? There's Doug. He's a great servant, and I'm thankful that he's in our church, and thankful he's in my life, and thankful he's in our community. And then here's another group of people. Write down your serving people that have served you, people that you learn to serve. Maybe it's the person who bags your groceries every week. Maybe it's your barista. Maybe it's a teacher that served you well. Someone that served you. Okay, here's the next group of people. It's inspiring people. People in our lives that are inspiring. People that inspire us. I love the word inspire. It's that word spirit, comes from the word spirit. So they bring inspirit us. They bring spirit to us. And if we understand that we are all connected by the same Spirit, by God's Spirit, then what happens is that when we inspire someone, we bring a little bit of God into their lives. We open them up to God in a way that they might not otherwise be open to. And so the inspiring person that I want you to see today, you've seen him a couple times, and he's an inspiration to me, and I know when you hear his story, he will be an inspiration to you too. But this is Frank Lanetti. And yeah. Frank served our country and for a long time, and he's served 2 tours in Vietnam, and he served our state. He has served his family, he's served our community, and he's also served our church. And last Sunday, he passed away. And he is one of those men that communities and churches and families need. And he will be missed in our church, and he'll be missed in our community. And his wife, Marcia, is here today. And Marcia, where are you? There you are. And I'm thankful for the inspiring life that Frank lived, and the joy that we had to know him, and that his inspiring life of serving our country and our community continues to be lived out in his family and in our church. So, Marcia, our condolences to you and our gratitude for you and for Frank. Here's another group of people. By the way, who inspires you? Write their name down. Who inspires you? And connect with them in a word of gratitude, a text, an email, a call, or just an eyeball to eyeball. Thank you for inspiring me. Here's the next group of people that I want you to think about. And this is caring people. Caring people. And who are the people in your life that have cared about you at some point? This is my family, and I am so thankful for them and the way they have cared for me and cared about me and the way we demonstrate care for each other. There's my daughter, Abby, on the left, my wife, Peg, my son, Brock, and my oldest daughter, Beth. And I love these people, and they care about you. These guys have all served our church. When we first moved here and started Fellowship Church, my oldest daughter, Beth, she served every Sunday keeping kids in the nursery and in our children's area. And she didn't get to grow up in a traditional church, being a part of kids ministry and student ministry and whatever. She just started serving. And my son, Brock, he was just a young kid then, but he would move stuff in and out of our trailer every Sunday, setting up church for our church. And today he's still here serving. He sits back there on our soundboard every week. My son. And Abby was just a year old when we moved here to start Fellowship, and she just continues to care about everybody. Every single day, every single person. She is awesome. So who are the caring people in your life? People that have shown you care, that have given care to you, that have demonstrated to you what it's like to be cared for. Maybe you've been through a hard time and someone cared about you. And they showed that they cared about you. And some of you have taken up that legacy of caring. You care about others now. I'm thankful for our committed group of people who care about our friends in Mexico. And in just a couple weeks, we'll be going down there. And it's because we care. This is a caring church. It's a caring community of people. So who do you care about, and who's cared about you, and who do you need to communicate that to? Here's another group of people that we need to be thankful for. This is the fun people in our life. Who brings fun to your life? Who is it that when you are with them, your life just feels lighter, easier, more enjoyable? They make you laugh, or they make you belly laugh. They make you laugh till you cry. They make you feel good about yourself. They're just great people to hang with. We all have people like that. Fun people in our lives. And this is actually the last group of people that I want you to think about. This is a group of people that we normally wouldn't think of being thankful for. But I want you to think of challenging people. Who challenges you? Who's hard to get along with in your life? Who's a pain in your heart? Who is it that when you see them makes you feel like this? This is one of the most challenging people in my life that I have to deal with. And if you don't know this, don't recognize this person, that's actually me. I am sometimes my own biggest challenge. And one of the things that I am learning in my life is that sometimes I actually get to learn the most and grow the most because of my interactions with people that I normally think of as challenging. One of the mind shifts that I'm trying to engage in my journey is when I meet challenging people or when I deal with people that create frustration for me or difficulty for me, one of the first things I'm trying to learn how to think of is what am I supposed to learn from this moment? What am I supposed to gain from this moment? One of the very first thoughts that I have when I encounter someone that's challenging is I try to tell myself, I just set this out there, I don't know their full story. I don't know what's causing them to feel challenged today. I don't know what's causing them to be agitated and aggravating. I don't know their story, so don't judge them. And when I put myself in a place of non-judgment, where I don't have to try to figure out what's wrong with this wacko, it puts me in a place of suspended judgment, and now I can go, all right, I don't know their full story, and because I don't, and because they're challenging me, there's probably something I'm supposed to learn and grow from. What is that? That's hard to do for us, and because for me, doesn't it seem to be true? The challenging people always seem to arrive at the most challenging moments, right? Not like when I'm all centered and zen and just hanging out and enjoying life, and when I've just walked away from the fun people and I got tolerance and pay. No. The challenging people come on the most challenging days. That's why when we make Thanksgiving and gratitude a practice in our life, that we end up creating a posture from which we live, then we can deal with challenging people on any day of our life. On the fun days and the challenging days, on the inspiring days and the painful days, because we're living from a place of great gratitude. So this is the 100th Psalm. It's a psalm of thanksgiving, and I want you to look at it with me as I try to uncross my eyeballs. Shout to the Lord with joy. Everyone on the earth, worship the Lord with gladness. Come to him with songs of joy. I want you to realize that the Lord is good. He made us, and we belong to him, and we are his people. We are the sheep belonging to his flock. Give thanks as you enter the gates of his temple. Next slide. Oh, that's it. Okay, well, I'll just make up some stuff then. This is a psalm of thanksgiving. It's a psalm of gratitude. It's a psalm that reminds us that our life posture should be one of thankfulness. So this week, as you think about the people that you are thankful for, don't just think about them. And when you think about them, don't just pray for them like Paul did with joy. But let's take time and action our gratitude. Let's throw it out there in a way that makes God know we are thankful for the people he's put in our lives, and also allows them to know we are grateful for them.